The following is a production of TeamBoydTV.
Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield.
Here we go, turn it up, let it start. From block to block, we snatching hearts and jacking marks. And the punk police can't fade me a minute. We can have this someday, but right now I got my mind set up. Looking down the barrel of a nine. Give us time to let the payback back to my brothers on the block. Better stay strapped, black. And accept no substitutes. I bring truth to the youth, tell the youth from the old school. Oh, you know I won't turn the other cheek. Guess you can't see us when we burn the other week. Now we got them in the smash, blast. How long will it last till the road get more cash? Until then, raise up till a young black man's blaze up. Like some don't stress, test. I'm giving but be thankful that you're living blessed. Much love to my brothers in the pen. See you when I free you, if not when they shove me in. Once again, this is all I'll strap. Keep your hands in the gap, now your boys watch your back. In the alleys, I'm telling them I'm telling you. Mess with the best and the best will help. Scream if you feel it, see it clearly. You're too near it, holler if you hear it. Holler if you hear it. Holler if you hear it.
Sierra Hotel, Echo, Delta, Shield.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. This is the Shield Podcast. I'm your boy, Big Q. I'm sitting here and I'm chilling with my bro, the Raven Shogun, JB. Say what up, everybody, bro.
Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? And the voice of Glad Twitter Hustler.
Twitter Hustlers, that's right. So, man, listen, JB, the season started with some bullshit, right? Right. So it's only fair that the season end with some bullshit, right? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You know, I thought we was gonna, ease into the end of the season, and all that nonsense that was going on. I thought we was going to be able to kind of just ease onto the Super Bowl, enjoy it like we normally do, man. But all kind of stuff, it wouldn't be the NFL if it wasn't no stuff going on, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But listen. Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, I would just say, if it was something new,
yeah,
it'd be good. I mean, it wouldn't be good, but it'll be news, but it's the usual suspects, man. That's what make it so distasteful.
It does, you know what I mean? And so listen, what we're going to talk about tonight, man, we're going to get into some stuff, man. I got into a Twitter, what you want to call it? You want to call it an argument? You want to call it a beef? You want to call it a disagreement?
It's a kerfuffle, because it's all over the internet.
Well,
it ain't never beef.
Well, I personally got into a Twitter situation with one of my followers, man, and I'm gonna call him out. One football guru, I'm gonna call him out. He had the nerve to tweet out on Twitter talking about, since Russell Wilson did what he did, is he considered to be an quote unquote elite quarterback. JB, me and you, we're gonna break that down. You feel me?
Right.
We're gonna break that down. All right. Another one of the homies, man, the homies of the show, Warren Glass from Get With It Sports. His team's quarterback, man. I don't know. His time running out. Do the old guy still got something left in the tank? JB, we gonna talk about that one too, right?
Right.
We're gonna get into that. And of course, the main story, what are they calling them? They call them the Deflate-Gates. That's what they calling them now?
Wow. Among other things, but okay.
Right, you know what I mean? We're gonna get into that conversation toward the end of the show. We're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna get busy with that. But first, let me let everybody know, guys who are watching, so I didn't really think that we was gonna get any live viewers tonight. Did you think we was gonna have any live viewers?
Nah, not at all. I thought we was gonna just do this and just
Yeah. Hey, we got the phenom LJ. My micro mini hater. That's my homie right there. That's my little homie. He's in the building. He says those editing skills though. Best editor. Hey, listen. If there was any vote for me, dude, you vote for your boy. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, well, hold up though. I like LJ.
I do too. I
like that kid, man.
Hey, listen.
Kid, man.
LJ,
it really is, man. It really is. Think about that real quick, since he in here. He just getting started, man.
He is. He
young. So
yeah. I mean, that's my boy. He's cool. He's in the building. The Twitter is open, man. We got the Twitter wide open. You can tweet at TeamBoydTV JB_JB if you want to hit the Shogun up. The tweets are being shown live on the air tonight. You can tweet at me at TeamBoydTV. just use the hashtag TeamBoydTV Live, man. And we are showing your tweets on the stream tonight. So listen, we're gonna get into our first break. When we come back, man, we're gonna talk about what me and Football Guru got into on Twitter. And JB, I want to get your thoughts on it. You feel me?
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro.
All right, we'll be right back. TeamBoydTV Turbo is sponsored by Domain.com. In today's connected world, it's kind of hard to be heard or to get noticed. That's why an online presence is so vital. If you have a brand to promote, relying on social media just doesn't cut it these days. Although social media is a powerful way to build a following, there is nothing like having your own hosted website. That's where Domain.com comes in. Domain.com offers the very best in web hosting services, and with plans starting at just under $4 a month, it's super affordable as well. And now, because you guys are awesome Team Boyd TV Turbo subscribers, you can get yourself a sweet combo deal if you go to TeamBoydTV.com and click the Domain.com button. Once you click the button, you get redirected to the Domain.com promo page, where once you sign up and use the promo code DOMFREE, that's DOMFREE, you can get yourself a free domain name. That's a free website that you can use to build your audience. And Domain.com web hosting is packed with bonus features too. Check this out. All web hosting plans come with $100 Google AdWords bonus, $50 Yahoo/Bing search marketing credit, $50 in Facebook advertising, a free YellowPages.com listing, and get this, a free toll-free phone number if you live in the U.S. And if you're like me and you know nothing about website design, Domain.com even has the awesomely easy drag-and-drop site builder to get you up and running right away. So what are you waiting for? There's no excuse not to get your online presence rolling right now. Remember, go to TeamBoydTV.com, click the Domain.com button, and use the promo code DOMFREE to get your free domain to use for your website today. All right, we are back on the Shield Podcast presented by Team Boyd TV. I'm your boy, Big Q. I'm joined by my brother, the Raven Shogun, JB. Hey, listen, JB, let's get right into this thing, right? I told you I set it up a little bit. I'm on Twitter. I'm chilling. Now, listen, let's set it up. Let's set it up proper first, okay? You watched the festivities last weekend, right? I'm pretty sure you did, right?
Right.
Okay, so you watching the Seattle, who did they play?
Green Bay.
Yeah, the Seattle Green Bay game, right? You watching this game, and you watching through three quarters, Russell Wilson posting a 0.0% passer rating throughout this game until like the last maybe 4 or 5 minutes of the game. Right. This guy, Football Guru, bless his heart, he wants to say that Russell Wilson is an elite quarterback. Now, before I give you my tirade on this, because of course, I think it's complete and utter bullshit. That's what I'm speaking right now. That's what I'm speaking. I want to get your thoughts. I want to get your thoughts, Shogun. I want to know what you got to say about it.
Well, number one, I mean, we ain't speaking about the body of work from last year.
Right.
We're talking about this game in particular. I tell you this, ain't shit elite about 3 turnovers in a NFC Championship game. Ain't shit elite about that. Let's be clear. All the ones that done it before, that got that status. Some of them. I mean, even Eli Manning, he got elite status because he got the hardware at the end of 2 seasons. That's great. But if you want to just say, about how you led your team and you was forged by fire and you came up with the W, I mean, the performance I saw on Sunday, man, I can't give him a elite stamp for that. I think his team more or less gutted that whole thing out.
That's exactly what I said.
He had something to do with it, but the Seahawks as a whole, they wouldn't quit, they wouldn't die, and
Absolutely.
They knew that what they had to do if they wanted to have a chance to win that game. So the team elite, without a question.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what I was saying on Twitter. He wants to get into this whole situation. Well, hold on, before you do that, hey, JB, our boy, the voice 2525 is on Twitter. He says, tell LJ, fuck the Saints. We the kings of the South. Voice, what's happening, homeboy? Hey, look, if I knew you were around, cuz I would have brought you in. I didn't even know you was around. But anyway, I'm just saying, yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, if it wasn't for his team, not willing to give up on him, because, like, I don't know if I was those guys. If I was those dudes and he was playing the way he was playing, I probably would have mailed that one in. I don't know what you think about it. I mean, because he was playing horribly. You know what I mean? And
so he didn't give him a chance early, man. I mean, like I said, man, if anything is elite about Seattle, it's that team. You know what I'm saying? Or I mean, if you want to cut into it a little deeper, man, you can say the coaching or what have you, but. It's all about the men on the field and the uniform.
Right. So, throughout the course of the game, I mean, everybody saw the game. Especially people who watch this show. I know they saw the game. It looked like Russell Wilson was, and this is what I said on Twitter as well. I said that, listen, I understand where Guru is coming from about the clutch and, being able to pull it out in the end and this, that, and the third. I mean, he pretty much didn't make a single completion throughout the whole entire game. And then the few that actually he did connect with, those are the ones that actually won him the game. You know what I'm saying? So for him, for Guru to say, oh, we're going to call this man elite because he finally completed a pass, please, man, I am not feeling that at all.
Nah, I mean, look, shit. I give him clutch. I mean, he stuck to his principles. He stuck to his mechanics. He stepped into the pocket. He made a very, very beautiful. The 2 completions in overtime, one to Ball and one to Hurst to win it.
Right.
Curse, I'm sorry. That was perfectly thrown balls. He went through all his mechanics in the pocket. Yeah. I mean, clutch, give him that.
Okay.
Discipline, stuck to his mechanics, wonderful. But elite, come on now.
Right. I mean, I personally thought he was doing more to hurt his team than he was doing to help. Now, granted, I give him his due. He did enough. He did what it took to win the game. And I guess at the end of the day, that's what really mattered. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a person on Twitter who was saying that they want to call Russell Wilson elite. Now, I'm looking at this dude's, okay, granted, he don't want a Super Bowl. And when I say he won a Super Bowl, I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks won a Super Bowl, because everybody who's been watching the Seattle Seahawks over the last couple of years, this is one team that I can say for sure that play as a collective unit. You know what I mean? They play as a unit. And I believe, you can take Russell Wilson out of that equation and put somebody else in, and you will have similar results. That's what I'm saying.
Or you could do the opposite. You could put Russell Wilson on a non-elite defense, or you could take him out of the Seahawks and put him on a different team. Any other team in the NFL in that situation, they don't come out of there with a win.
Right.
If it was up to him. Period. Right. I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. So I just wanted to get somebody else's perspective on this situation, because, I'm sitting there and I'm tweeting with this guy, and I started to get a little hot about it. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? Are we watching the same game? I'm just saying, have you seen what done transpired all the way up until this point in the game? And now you want to say, oh my God, Russell Wilson is the truth? Man, please. I'm not buying that.
But in the same sense, respect for Wilson, because I ain't hating on Wilson. I order Seahawks. I think they're a hell of a team. I think in year 2, or not year 2, but this second Super Bowl run, they've been a little bit more special than the first one. But just to Russell Wilson's credit, he could probably be elite for the Seattle Seahawks.
Right.
For all of what they ever had in the quarterback.
Right.
I give him that.
So here's a tweet from The Voice 2525. He says, "Let Cam have 4 interceptions in a playoff game. Damn, they'll be trying to run him about a Charlotte." I saw similar tweets on Twitter that night too. People were talking about, had there been somebody like Joe Flacco or Ben Roethlisberger, or whoever the case may be, Andy Dalton. We saw this with Andy Dalton early in the season, and you remember how they roasted him, right? How come Wilson don't get that kind of scrutinization and that kind of being under a microscope like that? What you think about that?
I think for everybody who was watching that game, include myself, just watched Seattle play just all season. At some point, if Russell having a bad one, you say Richard's gonna come up with something. Right. Cam's gonna come up with something. Earl gonna come up with something. The defense gonna do something to save the game if it's close.
Right.
So I remember clearly, man, some Twitter people and even the announcers on TV was saying how bad Russell Wilson was playing. But at the same time, he already got a Super Bowl just the year before. So it's hard to really criticize the guy versus the ones that's playing for a Super Bowl who don't have one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could feel it. Now, here's a tweet from a Seahawks fan. This is from our boy Seahawks 5668. He says, "Not an elite performance whatsoever. Still too fresh to be considered elite. Damn good though. He's gonna have a bad game. You know what? And that I can agree with. And and this is now keep in mind that tweet right there came from a Seahawks fan. The guy I was talking about earlier is a Raiders fan. Let's just be clear, and just so I can be transparent, so people can understand what I'm talking about here. So yeah, and I agree with you, 5668. I agree totally. What I would love to have a Russell Wilson on my team. You know what I mean?
Hey, and the man has had more good ones than bad ones.
Oh, absolutely.
For people, because people get like, you only as good, and this is life in the NFL. You only as good as your last showing or your last effort.
Mm-hmm.
So, but people have forgot about some of the magical games Russell Wilson has had in prime time over the course of the season.
Absolutely. But he
demolished a few teams. completely fooled a lot of teams.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, come on. I was the one thing I was really nervous about. When Carolina had to face them, in a playoff scenario, is because you can't get hands on them. You know what I mean? Even though they put spies all over the place, and even if he show you what he's getting ready to do, you still got to get hands on him. It's like trying to catch a greased chicken or a greased pig or something. You know what I mean? It's tough. He got some skills.
Hey, I remember the performance he put against the Atlanta Falcons this season. I mean, that shit. I mean, everything that he done, all the boost fakes, all the PAs, all the keepers, everything just worked that night.
Yeah.
There was a few more games like that too that he was doing what he wanted to do. Yeah, of course, everything go hand in hand. Run game go with the PA.
Right.
Receivers catching the ball. The defense really putting a stranglehold on other teams. All that stuff helps.
It does. It definitely does. And, I think at the end of the day, though, it really is like us as football fans, we are quick. And I mean, I'm kind of guilty of it a little bit too. I'm a little bit more cautious when I talk about quarterbacks, though. But most of us, we're really quick to really just throw a whole lot of praise and stuff on players when not saying they, like Russell. I'm not saying that Russell Wilson ain't deserving of the accolades that he's getting, but we are quick to throw titles on people and putting them in this quote unquote elite class and stuff. And I think it's kind of stunting the growth of a lot of players, though, man. I think it is. What you think about it?
Well, I mean, it's good to have that confidence in that key position on your team. So, I mean, if it's a little bit of fluff, giving your quarterback the elite title, he need to have that confidence for the whole 16-game season plus postseason if your team's good enough.
Right. Oh yeah, no doubt.
It's more good than harm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. 5668 says that's what I've been about the whole rain aspect last week. Wilson been struggling this year in rain and wind elements. I guess so. And rain was coming down in there. So I don't know. I was a little bit, just a little bit, eked a little bit with the Twitter comment on Sunday, and I couldn't wait to discuss it with somebody. JB, I'm glad you showed up to help me with that. So we're going to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about something that I know our boy Glass is probably not going to agree with, right? He's probably not going to agree with this.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, with this subject, and especially with all the coaching carousel and what have you.
Right.
Yeah, he definitely wouldn't be a fan of this segment, but let's go.
Yeah, we're going to do it, though. So, listen. But the question is, have we seen the sheriff ride off into the sunset for the last time? Now, the whole other stuff going on with John Elway making that move with Fox and, and bringing in, your boy Kubiak and all this stuff, to me, it's a telltale sign that I'm not expecting number 18 to come back. I want to know what's your feeling on that right now?
Seriously, man, you have to ask yourself, man, how long you gonna do this shit? How long you gonna be the regular season hero?
Right.
I mean, it takes a lot of galvanizing and leading men to get to the point where you could be classified as not being able to win the big one. You can't just get to the big one it's almost a guarantee with Peyton. All you have to go through in the course of a season, the journey to get to the big one, and you choke it out. How many times you gonna do this shit?
Yeah.
And it just ain't this thing hadn't followed Peyton Manning just in Denver. I mean, everybody remember his years in Indianapolis. Everybody remember him when he was a Tennessee Volunteer. Yeah. And we talked about that a little bit last couple weeks ago. Yeah. He just can't get the big one done. Right. And most of the time when the team that he's on lose the big one, it's because of his poor play.
Yeah.
Ain't got nothing to do with his age or his surgeries or I think somebody said somebody a quarter step or that's all bullshit. He just got a problem in those games.
You know what?
And my thing is how much time do you have left to go through them journeys to get to those games and choke up?
It is funny. I know Broncos fans, they don't like to hear that. But, I remember last season, and I don't know, maybe, because last season didn't your Ravens and the Broncos face off in week 1, right? Wasn't that last season?
Right.
And, we made a big deal about it on TeamBoydTV Live, right? We was joking around and having some fun. But, I was telling Glass then, I was like, listen, man, no disrespect to Peyton Manning because, like, the dude's accolades and his records and his body of work speaks for itself in the regular season. You put him on a stage, though, where winning that game counts and, it's for something. I'm saying I can't put my money on Peyton Manning. I just can't do it.
Kid, but just look at this, man. I just want to give you where I'm coming from.
Uh-huh.
The Denver Broncos last year, was a very elite. I think they led in all categories on offense. Maybe a close second to the Patriots or had whatever. But you get to the Super Bowl and you lose about in that kind of fashion.
Yeah.
That shit is all on Peyton Manning. My point is that it ain't who you got around. It ain't the supporting cast. It ain't coaching.
Yeah.
It ain't none of that. It's just who you are when it counts.
Right. So, you know, at the end of the day, though, right? Because especially, you know, this journey in Denver's been, what, 3-4 seasons long now? You know, Jim Irsay sitting back like, you know, yeah, whatever. You know, like he felt comfortable with his decision. You know, now, in retrospective, right? You know, when you look at that, when you remember when it was going on, when, you know, they decided to part ways with you know, with the Colts or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You know, me personally, you know, when they gave him that 5-year deal worth all that ridiculous amount of money, I was like, why would you give a dude that old who ain't really proved that much money for a contract that long? You know what I mean? Like I wasn't feeling it then. You know what I mean? And now we're here, and I'm like, it was all for nothing. Yeah, you won a bunch of regular season games, you won a bunch of AFC West titles, but you ain't bring home no hardware. You know what I mean?
Right. And I have to retract my comments we made at the start of that year when Peyton Manning first went to Denver, and to go back to what Jim Irsay was saying about how other teams for that same time span was winning more championships. Absolutely. And he was losing more big games in the playoffs and et cetera. Mm-hmm. I was so quick to you know, to say shut the hell up. Talking about Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying?
That cat, remember?
Right, but to go back and to think about it, I mean, he was right.
Yeah, he was. He was absolutely right. He was absolutely right. And you
know, his young diamond that he drafted them been in the playoffs ever since he showed up.
Yeah. You know, which is crazy, and everybody thought that Jim Irsay had lost his mind at that time. And you know, I thought the move was shocking at first, and I was like, well, you know, whatever. And then, you know, for him to say that little statement, you know, a little while after, I was like, this dude done lost his damn mind. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
You know, there you go. You know, hindsight is 20/20, man.
I mean, he was spot on with that.
He was
spot on.
He was. All right. So unless you had something else to add to that, man, I think we'll get into our social media break, and we're gonna talk about the big topic. You know, I can't wait to get your introspective on this. You know what I'm saying? You ready for this?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
All right, cool. We're gonna go to the social media break. We will be right back. Oh man. Get social with TeamBoydTV. Like our Facebook page and join us every Sunday during the regular season for the TeamBoydTV Facebook halftime show. You can also follow us on Twitter at TeamBoydTV and at VernieB73. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at TeamBoydTV Turbo for all of our live shows, podcasts, among other things. Be sure to check out our Google Plus page for real-time status update and overall community discussion. TeamBoydTV is also on Instagram, Spreaker, and iTunes. Once again, thank you for watching TeamBoydTV. All right, then. So we are back again. I'm your boy, Big Q. This is the Shield Podcast presented by TeamBoydTV. I am with the Shogun, the Raven Shogun, JB. The Twitter lines are wide open. We got Seahawks 5668 in the building. We got Frank Gambler in the building. We got the Phenom LJ in the building. We got the Voice 2525 in the building. What's going on, fellas, man? Thank y'all guys for joining us, okay? Hey, JB. Hey, JB. So listen, the news story that's been dominating the headlines for the majority of the week, right? We find out that the Patriots may have used deflated balls during the AFC Championship game, and then it was confirmed, right? Now, before we get into the actual factual story, I said this in what was we doing? We were doing something, and I was talking. Oh, that was the sports diary with the 3-point conversion I did last night with Raphael, Mr. Controversy Haynes, right? When I was saying how Bill Belichick was one of the most diabolical coaches I've ever seen in my life. This dude would find every tactical advantage he possibly can to try to advance his team, this, that, and the third. And we know this, right? We all know this. This has been going on for years. You know what I mean? First question I got for you, sir, is when you find out about this story, were you surprised?
Whoa. not at all. And to think about it, at first I didn't have no reaction to it because I know 90% or close to it, and these are facts. 90% of the NFL players and the people that watch it do not like the Patriots.
Right.
And it was whether or not they got the rich story or the 2000s where they've been, winning championships or having winning seasons or they success, or you just don't like the way they do things.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like them. So at first, I thought maybe it was satire or just some shit people were saying because of the lopsided, the way the score looked.
Right.
But when the facts came out that it was 11 out of 12 balls, I was just like, man, this is why, and I don't understand how these people who Patriots fans defend it, but this is why people don't like the Patriots, period.
I agree.
This is why.
I definitely agree. And, some of the stuff, like, we saw the stuff that they was doing against the Ravens, with and it wasn't illegal, but it wasn't sportsmanlike. I mean, it definitely wasn't fair, the things that he was doing with the formations and whatnot. But you got stuff like that. You got the whole situation with the Spygate. You got now we're talking about deflated balls, and they're always doing something. It just goes way back to the tuck rule, which that wasn't really them doing all that, but this is kind of, I think, is where it was born. You know what I'm saying? Like ever since that tuck rule, and your boy Ray Lewis went off about it, right? Which I don't agree with everything he said, but the Patriots they assume this character and they want to be the bad guys, right? So that's the scene, right? But before we talk about the Patriots and all that, let's go back to the tweets that the Indianapolis Colts have been putting out. They say that they want to replay the game. Now, I done heard all kind of stories about how people feel about what the Colts are saying. I don't think they deserve a shot at it. Now, I did hear a person say they should automatically disqualify the New England Patriots and let the Ravens and the Colts play again. But as far as them reprimanding the New England Patriots, where would you start?
Well, first let me say this. I mean, as easy as it is, and without the story, for me, it's bad for New England Patriots because of my dislike.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to keep it real right here.
Uh-huh.
First of all, the game. Let's go back to the game.
Mm-hmm.
And the game was pretty lopsided, 45-7.
Yeah.
I think everybody in America know about that. The coach couldn't stop the run if their life was dependent on it. Andrew Luck wasn't playing well. I mean, I don't think the balls per se was the reason why they lost. It's the fact that they attempted to cheat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's facts, man. And that's that right there, man. The hell with them, with that. And plus, with the history that they have, with doing all this slick shit, it's like, I think whatever the coach want to do, and Roger Goodell has to do something. Because look what you've done to the Saints. Look what you've done to Mike Vick. Look what you've done to individual players. Look what you've done to James Harrison. I mean, you were quick and swift and unjust at some points with the punishment.
Absolutely.
I mean, finding Belichick $1 million won't, and draft picks, who cares? He finds players out of the gutter, which almost makes sense to me now because he can get them on board to cheat and keep quiet about it. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me.
Absolutely. Their whole system, and they like to dub it the Patriot way. And now, they try to spin the Patriot way like it's about hard work and work ethic and, dedication and all this kind of crap. And that's what the Patriot way is. But every year, another layer gets peeled off this thing. And we see what the Patriot way is really about. It's about gaining an unfair tactical advantage on your opponent any way you possibly can, right? And, for the NFL now, they're not going to spoil a Super Bowl. They're not going to pull the Patriots out of there. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to do that. That's not going to happen. But, I agree with you. Getting them for the 36th or 31st or 32nd overall pick in the draft, that ain't going to hurt the Patriots, man. That ain't nothing.
That's like telling Belichick, we know how you do things. We know what type of players you look for. You look for whatever. You make something out of what's left.
Yeah.
And we pretty much telling you keep doing what you're doing because finding you and Kraft got hella money. That's probably why they get away with most of the shit that they do.
Yeah.
And draft picks for Belichick is nothing. It's just like pretty much telling them okay.
So I was listening to Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless on ESPN First Take, and Stephen A. Smith suggested. Now this is only if we found out that Bill Belichick, was knew what was going on, if he had something to do with it, right? That he is suggesting that Bill Belichick gets suspended for the year, like kind of like what they did with Sean Payton, like because I don't think Sean Payton had a lot to do with that stuff that was going on in New Orleans. I just think because he was the boss, he got caught up in that, and they had to come down hard on him because he's the head coach. You know what I mean?
Just like they did Joe Paterno. I mean,
Yes.
you guilty by association.
Absolutely.
So my thing is this, man. You set the Saints franchise back an entire year. I mean, they could have been well on their way for another title that ensuing year. But you ruined Jonathan Vilma's career. A few other ones, man. There's a few others. I can't name on the top of my head, but there's a few other Saints players that didn't get a second opportunity, or you didn't give the team and their fans to celebrate being defending champions. It's bullshit. And this right here, I don't care what happened with Brady and Belichick and the Patriots.
Yeah.
This shit is all up to the commissioner.
Yes.
And as a fan of the game and some of these players, I know everybody's ears and eyes wide open right now. If you don't do nothing, that says everything.
It does. What I think a lot of pressure is on the NFL commissioner. And this happened at a really bad time. So he might be kind of painted into a corner right now. He might be backed up against the wall because, dude, you got the Super Bowl in about 9 days or something like that. It ain't that far away. And you got to make a call now. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the reasons why they were so blatant about what they were doing in that game is because, like, what's going to happen, man? We got a Super Bowl coming up. They're not going to pull us out of the Super Bowl. But, I'm thinking that the Super Bowl should be played out the way it's supposed to be played out. Maybe they're bringing some extra eyes on the field, or maybe they're checking, squeezing balls and stuff. I don't know what they're going to be doing. But I think as soon as the game is over, as soon as the smoke is cleared and the confetti is swept up, so the judgment has to come down. And I won't be satisfied until I see something like Bill Belichick being suspended, because I don't think it was really, really fair for them to do that to Sean Payton. Because really, it was his coaches under him that were running all these schemes and, doing all that crazy stuff. He's just, doing his job. You know what I mean?
But my thing is this. Now, if you look at it from you just look at it from like the level of cheating, or mechanically, you look at it. If you got a supposed paper play scheme, you got that, and all it is an extra motivation for a guy to make a clean tackle or to get to the ball first,
absolutely,
or what have you.
Yeah.
Is that giving your team an advantage over the other? No more than a Rex Ryan giving his players rah-rah without a paper play incentive.
Right.
Versus deflated balls.
Yeah.
Whether or not that helps you win a game or not, that is like you got a mechanical advantage.
Yes, you do. I don't know, man.
So that's what that. I mean, to my point is this: that is words. That should deem a stiffer punishment because you altered the game.
Yeah.
You didn't rile your players up. You altered the game.
Yeah. Sure enough, did.
And you give Sean Payton a year suspension. That shit don't make sense to me. And even if the Patriots fans should be like that, I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, something should happen.
Hey, Patriots fans, they embrace this, man. This is what they expect out of their team. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if their team is not doing this, they feel like they ain't trying hard. I think I saw a thing came up on Twitter that talking about, well, Bill Belichick, a picture of Bill Belichick saying, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. You know what I mean? Like, basically they saying, like, if the Patriots show up and they not doing things like this, then they're not playing Patriots football. And the fans will probably boo that. The Phenom LJ says the New England Patriots get caught with Spygate and Deflate-Gate, and the NFL gives them a slap on the wrist. And then Seahawks 568 says Patriots are basically doing the football what Bonds and Clemens and the rest did the baseball. Always going to be questioned from here on out. What do you think about that?
Well, hey, without a doubt. I mean, they didn't even need this. I mean, you can go back to the game the week before. I mean, ain't no excuse, but I mean, they're always trying these things. I mean, it's always an asterisk beside everything that they do. Yeah. But, I mean, I just don't like the stiffer punishment for players that ain't as popular.
Right.
Or they ain't got this love affair with them, man. I mean, even outside of football, like Pete Rose, that dude still can't get in.
Right.
And, I mean, it's just so much stuff, man. So much stuff. And they end careers is because either it's a money thing or it's a popularity contest.
Yeah. But, it's one of them things, man, like as NFL fans, like we all are, man, we love to say how, our game is, so much more pure than, the other sports and stuff. And then, like this year been a prime example of like man, the NFL got some work to do, man. They got, I don't know what they need to do, but they got it's a lot going on, and a lot of things came up this season that maybe have been swept under the rug in years past. Maybe this stuff been going on for years. You know what I mean? But man, it's like the commissioner, he got some work to do. This whole season. But it's go ahead.
I just think that all the rules should fit every player.
Yeah.
And I don't give a damn who it is, how old you are, how much of a veteran you are, how decorated your career is.
Yeah.
All the rules apply. But I will say this just to be clear. The flopping balls had nothing to do with how much that the coach got their ass whooped.
No,
I think it was a precautionary measure if the coach had showed up, but they did not.
Yeah, but see, I find that funny though. I'm gonna tell you why I find it funny. I find it funny because they packed all these balls, whatever, right? They did all this stuff with the balls, and they didn't even need them. You know what I mean? Like were they really like afraid of the Indianapolis? I mean, I'm being serious right now. Were they scared?
They wanted to make sure that everything that they were supposed to catch was catchable, but and didn't have nothing to do with the weather.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't know that factually, but that's just my perspective. Because there's no other reason why you would take some out. But it was a rainy day. The Brady was going to be still zipping them, and lo and behold, manifest destiny, he throws a pick. It was an unlikely throw from Brady.
Yeah.
Very unlikely throw. Yeah. But that's just poetic justice.
Yeah, but
that's the only way. That's the only way we know about this right now.
Right, but that's the same thing that happened earlier in the season when he threw the interception and the dude was like, wait a minute, this ball feels weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, but nothing wasn't done. Like, weeks passed by, and then now they're making it a big. I guess maybe because the Super Bowl is on the horizon, and we need a story going into the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And we got to give motivation to the Seahawks, and maybe it's always something that you got to go into the Super Bowl with. And especially if we're talking about going to the Super Bowl with the New England Patriots, who are by far going to be the most hated team going in there, and that kind of thing. But I don't know. I think it's not a good look for the NFL. Definitely not a good look for the New England Patriots, man. And they talk about a dynasty and legacy and all these words they like to use, but they'll if you listen to a Patriot fan talk and they talk about dynasties and legacies and stuff, they leave all that shit out, all of it. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, naturally, you don't do that. But there's really no way to defend all the stuff that they've been involved in.
Right.
And every year they try to do the right thing, they end up not winning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so but that's just letting that's just saying the better team always end up winning.
Yeah.
But the cheating team, of course, you got a leg up somehow.
Right.
And this makes me just ask this question: what about all the shit that they done got away with?
Yes.
we're talking about deflated balls and videotape.
Yes.
It's probably tons of. Not just with them.
Yeah.
Because the inception of cheat or the idea to cheat, when millions of people are watching and cameras everywhere and microphones everywhere, just didn't start in New England.
Right.
I guarantee you that.
Right. No, definitely not. Hey, LJ says, I want to see a Bill Belichick get suspended for a whole year because my Saints supposedly get caught with Bannergate and we lose our head coach, GM, and some of our players. Screw New England and screw Roger Goodell. I love it, though, man. I love it. But, that's where we at, though. And so it's one of them things where we going to have to, I wasn't even really that interested in the Super Bowl this year. It just seemed like a foregone conclusion to me at this particular point that the Seahawks are going to go in there and pretty much have their way. Because like I was trying to explain to Raphael, Mr. Controversy last night, Tom Brady is a different dude when he got to think on his own. When he ain't being a robot and following the direct orders that's being programmed into his mind by Bill Belichick, he plays a completely different way, and he ain't gonna be able to get settled. He ain't gonna be able to settle into that system come Super Bowl Sunday. You know what I mean? And that's just the way I feel about it.
Me personally, for me, even though I don't like the team. Mm-hmm. There's players on that team that I think are good athletes, man, and they play hard and they compete at a high level. Right. If this was Brady's last one, because he's getting old, he definitely don't like to be touched. If this was his last one, I would rather that dude go ahead and win it the right way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just do it right. It probably wasn't his idea, but now if he do go ahead and win it, or if he win it next year, people won't care. More people gonna root against him not being able to ride off in the sunset.
You know what?
And he's been chasing this 4th championship for over 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and to be to be on this mission that he's been on for this long time. I don't know if it's them getting real desperate, and just like doing whatever they can to get it, or is they feel like time running out. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. You know what I mean? But that's what it is. And so Mr. T Money 1993 says it's a whole Belichick coaching tree, because when McDaniel was on his own, he had a mini Spygate up, and I remember that. I do remember that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, you're spreading that nonsense throughout the NFL, man. It's crazy. You know what I mean? But that's where we at.
And I think Mangini was kind of, he the one blew the whistle on him, right?
Yeah. But it is what it is. So
and it took for him to be the opposing coach in the division for that to even be a story.
Yep. Who else we got here? Because I'm so before we wrap up. He said, yeah, Mangini had the whole playbook thing. Yeah, so you hit it right in the head. You and T-Money both hit it straight up. You know what I mean? So, well, that's where we at, though, man. And this is what we got to look forward to going into, Super Bowl weekend. I don't know, man. I'm going to try to enjoy myself. But, look, if you in closing, though, what you want to say, man, and about the whole thing, man, the whole shebang, Russell Wilson, Peyton Manning, the New England Patriots, man, what you got?
Hey man, I'm gonna use Wilson's famous program line, "Go Hawks." Yeah. As far as Manning, I mean, him and Brady both need to sit it down because the game evolving. These young mobile quarterbacks, even the ones that ain't Hawaiian or black, are playing phenomenal football, being 2-dimensional. Yeah. I think the conventional drop back passer is about gone. Yeah. And as far as the Patriots, man, I mean, do it right, man.
Yeah,
Win it right.
Win it right, man. Win it right. Well, listen, man, I want to thank all y'all. Kelly Blue, I see you, baby. He says, shout out to TeamBoydTV. Hey, look, we try to do it, bro. I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody who joined us this evening, man. Seahawks 5668, T Money, LJ, The Voice 2525, Frank Gambler, everybody. We appreciate it, man. Seahawks 5668 says Pete Carroll was fired by the Patriots, and Bill and Cheat replaced him. Carroll's gonna get some payback. See that, we're looking for some storylines. I'm your boy. Well, hold on, JB, you go ahead and put yourself over first. You know what I'm saying?
You good, man. You good. This the shield, man. I ain't gotta put myself over. Well, I'm good. I'm good being a guest, brother.
Right. Well, that's my brother, the Raven Shogun. That's TeamBoydTV, TeamBoydTV JB _ on Twitter. Follow him, man. He's a good dude. I'm your boy, Big Q. Y'all know me. Follow me at TeamBoydTV on Twitter, man. And I guess, we'll see you guys next Wednesday night when we do the season finale of TeamBoydTV Live Super Bowl edition. We're going to have a little bit of a party. I think we're going to invite a whole gang of y'all to be on the show. So look forward on Twitter for me to be sending out these invites and hitting y'all guys up, because I want everybody on the show. Everybody. I'm going to try to fit as many people as I possibly can on the show. But that's next Wednesday.
I like it.
Yeah, it's going to be dope, right? You feeling that? You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
All right,
hey, just let them get on and cut loose.
That's right, man. That's right. So until next Wednesday, man, y'all be good. And we out, man. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
Go Hawks.